starting to produce our videos again after at least a year break or more. Guys will remember us from our Sym channel, how me and my wife we started practicing on the motorbikes together about nearly 4 years ago. Started normal 200 Syms, follow some of those old videos, just awesome light bikes that we did graveling, and we did quite a bit of touring on them. Then we moved over to road bikes versus 650s. We had a load of fun on that too. Unfortunately, we couldn't do gravel on those bikes. But introducing today our bikes. We've had them for about 6 months. They're African Twins DCTs. For those that don't know what DCTs are basically dual clutch, like it's almost like a Triptronic for a car, but it's almost automatic for a bike. And before any of you guys say automatic, easy peasy, no, make no mistake, automatic is much harder to drive without a clutch. You've got to be more focused on your brakes, your back brakes especially, your speed control. The shorter maneuvers are harder to do. The bikes are heavier, they're 240 kilos. But you guys can follow us on our trip today. Not today, but I mean on our trip this season with these bikes, and we will produce quite a lot of videos. The little bit we've ridden with them, so let's say about 5,000-6,000 kilometers we've already done in this past 4 or 5 months now. We've done tar, we've done gravel. They seem to handle both of them just as well. They both, well, they're just a bit heavy for my wife, and her height being just on 170 and I'm 172, they're a touch bit too high. But I mean, I tiptoe my bike. Her bike is a bit lowered down, so she can almost like tiptoe her bike too. So like I said, it's just a bit of a learning curve to learn from, going up on the Kawasaki's like 82, 84 centimeter seats. Hers is about 85, mine's about 87 now, and yeah, it's just basically stopping and being used to stopping with your back brake here and there, and moving your bump to the one side or to the other side depending on the slope of the road, and just getting used to that. And once you're used to it, then it's, like, I wouldn't say a walk in the park, but it still takes a bit of getting used to. We haven't done much mods on it. Obviously it's got crash bars, we've got the light pannier bags on it, and we've got heated grips, which makes a big difference on these bikes. The wind turbulence, I must say, on these bikes are amongst the best we've had out of all the bikes we've had. We've driven very heavy winds. Yes, it's a bit intimidating, but you'll see our window shields aren't that high, but we don't seem to get too much wind buffering. It's almost like the wind comes from the bottom here and hits the wind away from your face or something like that. I don't know, but so far it doesn't. The seats are super uncomfortable. So they're super uncomfortable for long trips. They're very uncomfortable. But we put it on these gel seats. It makes a bit of a difference. Not much, but it makes a bit of a difference. And yeah, if I had to say so far, the only negative thing I've got to say about the bike is the seats. But put it this way: if you're doing gravel and you're standing, not an issue. And when your bum does get sore while driving long distance, you just slack down the pace on a tar road, for instance, because you don't want to fall standing. Slack down the pace, stand up for about 5-10 minutes, and then you're good to go for at least another hour again. So those are the negative things. And then the services, we haven't yet done much on these bikes in regards to services, but I do believe it's going to be a schlep for guys that aren't very good mechanically inclined like we are. Met a guy from Mossel Bay, got him on WhatsApp, met him the other day at Pirates. We could give him a go, or we should give him a go. Being in Oudtshoorn, we don't really have motorbike mechanics in our town. We do, but it costs like a fortune to fix it. So I mean, if you can get someone to help you out, it's better, or else it's going to cost a lot. But we'll see as we go along. And see how it goes. The bikes haven't started for about 2 weeks, right? So I haven't started for 2 weeks because we've had the worst weather you can ever imagine. Even today, it's like stormed with rain the whole night. So all the gravel roads are like a mushy, slidey mud pool. And yeah, let me just give these bikes a quick kickstart. What I do is they've got center stands like you're very used to working center stand. I kick the kickstand out, right? I kick the kickstand out, put the bike on, and then I press it to run. You can see it struggled a little bit, but what for a let's say 3-week non-start, it's out of the box 100%. And that's my wife's bike that I just put on now. Put on my one. The reason why I kick the kickstands out is because once I've started the bike, I put them into gear, and one, like say for instance, if the kickstand's out, it won't be able to go into gear. It'll just cut out. So I put it into gear and let them run a bit just to get everything running and on for a while. And another thing is that I can tell you guys is always if it's in a garage like ours that's enclosed, make sure you've got an open garage, because the fumes on this can be, I think, quite poisonous in a way. So yeah, so I just put on open the garage, let the air run. You can see it's on neutral now. Neutral there. I just click it like that. Like I said, the stands, the seats is one of the negative points, and then the speedometer, it's still the older, because these bikes being 2018 models, they still have the old screen. So, but I mean, we're not into that. We're more into the just riding. So we've got a on this bike we've got a 3 modes, so most probably 4 modes of driving. You've got a sports 1, sports 2, sports 3, and a normal drive mode, right? And then before you get onto gravel, there's a G button. You can see even if the bike's on gear now, as long as you're not throttling, you just press it and there the G comes up, so you go automatically to that. In order to switch to your ABS brakes, you have to be also standing still and keep it pressed. But obviously that's not going to work now because the bike is in gear. But say for instance I switch it off now and switch it off back to neutral. Want to put ground mode on, ABS off. That you have to do on a stop, right? On a stop, and then you've got another button here that just releases your traction control. You see, it goes there from 1 to 3. Normally when we drive gravel mode, we put the traction to 1, right? Which makes it easy to restart the whole thing. You can switch off while you're off gravel. You can, because when you switch off the ABS, it's just on the back wheels, the way I understand it. So as soon as you come off gravel, you just take your hand off the throttle, press the button again, and it goes back to normal drive mode. The driving modes you can switch over here. You can see there where the 122, and you switch here. You just go to 1 is drive mode. You press it in, then you see drive mode 2, and so on, right? So that is easy. I normally, if I haven't started for a while, which is very rare, we always drive. Then I always let it just warm up to the third thing. I'm just going to I'm not even going to bother switching the ABS, so that's fine. I think nice thing about these automatic bikes is you'll see it's almost like a mountain bike. You can basically up your gears here and down it. This is downing the gears, and on the other side you've got one that lifts up the gears. So you can go one up and one down. So if you're going, because it being an automatic, right? Because it being an automatic, biggest negative thing about these bikes is it doesn't really know when it's going downhill or uphill. So it will switch gears while you're going up or down, right? And you might go pretty quick to 6. So you were coming around a bend, just pedal down. You don't have to change the mode, just pedal down, and you're good. But normally it will do it automatic. It's fine. But like I said, I like to have a bit of control, and I do that. And furthermore, when we do ride, it's basics. It's your horn, your thing. And the nice thing about shifting the gears, like I said, is that you can do it anytime. You don't have to basically change your ride mode, which makes it flippin' awesome, right? And you can just check there. And the thing about all these modes is like. Every time you switch off the motorbike, you have to redo it. For some people it's a snap, it's fine. but for me it's not a hassle. I mean, I like to look at my bike before I go and drive, make sure everything's right. Here's your suspension for the back. You can lower that. You can do the front ones too if you want to. But like I said, we're not mechanics. We haven't done it much. The most I do is tighten the chains and sprockets, and that I'll also show you guys sometime during the time. But I mean, for professional riders, they'll look at this video and say, oh yeah, you know, African twin, not an issue, they can handle it and so on. But if you look at our previous videos and you see my wife's height and you see how nervous she is, it's quite a learning curve for her, but she loves riding and so do I. So we like challenging ourselves, and like I said, we've done already 6,000-7,000 k's, and of which at least 3,000 on gravel, and some of the gravel roads we do here would actually challenge some of the better riders that have been riding for quite a long time that's never ridden gravel, because gravel for instance is a learning curve, and it takes you quite a while to get used to the bike moving under you and going over the hills. And we've had falls. I think she's fallen 4 times, I've fallen twice or 3 times. It's part of the thing. As long as you can get up and drive again, it's good. So like I said, in all terms, speed kills. But guys, more than welcome to follow us on this little trip. We'll try and get you guys the best videos out there. And for us, it's more about riding, seeing new places, having a great weekend, a few drinks, fire, barbecue, and just chilling. It's such a great hobby, as you guys know from my previous videos. This is a hobby for me and my wife that we really enjoy. We both get car sick. Whoever's not driving gets car sick. So we don't mind rain. Wind maybe is a bit difficult, but as long as we don't have muddy, slushy roads, we're good. And in our area we've got a lot of potholes. But yes, we're going to produce more videos this year, hopefully. Thank you for watching, guys. And if you do like, subscribe. They always say that, but for us, we don't really stress about those things. There's no money to be made, like according to a lot of people on YouTube and stuff. It's not about that. It's more about getting couples to drive, because that's one thing we don't see. We see women driving, we see men driving. We don't see couples driving. You see them 2 up or so, but you rarely see couples driving like we do. Man and wife, they are, but they far and few between. But in any case, that's for a later episode. Cheers, guys. Enjoy.